Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to use adjective phrases to start sentences. First, we are going to take a look at adjective phrases that are used to express our opinions or feelings. The first pattern here consists of 4 parts. And when do we use it? We use this pattern when we are describing people's opinions or feelings, when they are informed of the news or when they are aware of the news. The first component is it, the second component is to be, the third component is the adjective that we are using to describe people's opinions or feelings, alright? And then the fourth component is that. Actually, there are the fifth component, which is the news itself. Let's take a look at the example. First example, it is shocking that you like keeping mice as pet. When you're informed of the news that you like keeping mice as pet, alright, how do you feel? You feel that it is shocking to aware of the news, to know about the news, okay? So it is shocking that you like keeping mice as pets. Or you can say it is surprising. Rather than shocking, it is surprising that you like keeping mice as pets. Second example, it was incredible. How do you feel when you learned about the news, which is the athlete had broken the world record? The athlete had broken the world record. How do you feel when you heard of the news? You feel that it was incredible. It was incredible. So we can say it was incredible that the athlete had broken the world record. So we have the second patterns here. And when do we use the second patterns? We use it when we are describing people's opinion or feeling when performing certain actions. In contrast to the first pattern, the adjectives are used to describe our opinions or feeling when we learn the news. But in the second pattern, we use the adjective when we are describing our opinions or feelings when people are performing certain action. Okay, so the patterns are a little bit different in the fourth part. The first 3 parts remain the same. And in the fourth part, instead of that, we have to infinitive. Okay? In the first example, it is difficult. It is difficult to eat. So the action of eating, you feel it is difficult. Okay? It is difficult to eat what? To eat healthily at fast food shops. So when we are performing the action of eating healthily at fast food shops, you find it difficult. So this is used to describe the action. The adjective is used to describe the actions in the second pattern. In the second example, it was enjoyable. What is enjoyable? It was enjoyable to visit the Hong Kong Disneyland Resort with friends. Okay, when we're performing this action, we find that it is or it was enjoyable. Second, we can use adjective phrases to describe an action. This pattern is composed of 5 parts. The first one is it, the second one is to be, the third one is adjective. So in general, the first 3 parts are the same in all the adjective phrases, in all the adjective patterns, okay? The first part is it, the second part is to be, the third part is adjective. So starting from the fourth part of the patterns is a little bit different from the others. So in the fourth part, we have for, in the fifth part, we have the noun, and in the sixth part, we have to infinitive. So when do we use it? We use it to describe an action. So you are describing your opinions or feelings about the action that people perform or qualities that people have. So you're narrowing the scope down to certain people performing certain actions. And how do they make you feel? Let's take a look at 2 examples. The first one, It is impossible for all students to score full marks in every test. So who is doing what? All students. What do they do? What do they need to do? Or what do they possess? What quality do they possess? All students have to score full marks in every test. And how do you feel about that? You feel that it is impossible. For whom? For all students to achieve that action. Okay? So you're using the adjective phrases here, adjective patterns here, to describe your feelings or opinions. About what? About certain people doing certain action or the qualities they have. Okay? Second example. It is important. For whom? For flight attendants. To do what? Or to possess the quality. To be familiar with all the safety drills. You feel that it is important. You feel that it is important for them to have this, okay, in the second example. So in the first example, this is the action that some people perform, and then how do you feel about that? And in the second example, this is the quality that certain people have, and this is how you feel about that. Okay? So let's further your understanding with providing more examples. So imagine yourself as a customer. What opinions or feelings do you have towards a hairstylist fashion sense? It is important, right? Because the hairstylist is going to cut your hair. Right, so let's use the pattern. It is very important for whom? For the hairstylist to have what? To possess the quality of having a strong fashion sense. So it is very important for a hairstylist to have a strong fashion sense. Or we can replace the adjective. It is crucial for a hairstylist to have a sense of fashion. Lastly, it is essential for a hairstylist to have a fashion sense. So all these three is how you feel towards a hairstylist having a strong fashion sense. You think that it is important, you feel that it is crucial, or you feel that it is essential for him or for her to have this. Third and final patterns that I'm going to teach you today is we are using adjective phrases to describe a person or a group of people. It consists of 6 parts. As I've mentioned earlier, the first 3 parts are the same. So we have it, to be, and adjective. The fourth part starts differently. So we have of, we have the noun, and then also we have the to infinitive. So the only difference between the second sentence pattern and the third sentence pattern is for and of. This is the only difference. But the meanings change drastically if we use the preposition differently. Okay? So what are we doing here? We are using the phrase, or we are using the patterns to describe our feelings or our opinions about a person when they are performing actions, when they are performing certain actions. So in the previous sentence pattern, we are focusing on how do we feel about the actions that certain people perform. But in this pattern, we are focusing on the person himself. No matter what action he does, we are focusing about the quality of a person. Okay, first example, firemen to rescue people in distress. So obviously, fireman is rescuing people in distress all the time. So how do we feel about the firemen when they do the action of rescuing? When the firemen perform the action of rescuing, we think that they are brave and noble. Of course, we can also use one adjective at a time. But when we think that they have more than one quality, we can use more than one adjectives. And then we're connecting the adjective with a coordinating conjunction and. So we can say, it is brave and noble of the firemen to rescue people in distress. Okay, second example, Mr. Lee, maybe the richest man in Hong Kong, Mr. Lee. Okay, he sets up a foundation to help the grassroots families. How do we think about Mr. Lee when he does that? Okay, we think that he is very generous. So we can say, it is generous of Mr. Lee to set up a foundation to help the grassroots family. So the main difference between the second sentence pattern and the third one is that the second one, we are using it to describe the action. How does the action make us feel? The third one is to describe the people. How would the people doing certain action make us feel? So the focus is on action and people, respectively. Thank you for watching the video. See you next time.